a tireless rhinoceros, an amusement park for clumsy pandas, scuffles of small predators, and an elephant calf trying to wind its new friends around their little fingers. In this episode, you'll see animal cubs playing. Games are an important process in the life of any cub. It's exactly due to them that they learn to interact with the surrounding environment and hone different skills, be that hunting or the ability to run fast. It's not clear which objective this rhinoceros pursued, however it's quite understandable that it had a good time, judging by the video where it played the main role. The little Savannah, this is what the cub is called, always approaches the park ranger and it merrily plays with him. Alas, no one specified how old this beauty is, however it's very small. It's exactly how it is. Rhinoceroses can walk from the first days of their lives, and if it's about the wild, they follow their mothers everywhere. If a cub is hungry, it utters quite unusual sounds that are similar to those that whales produce. In essence, we can see a full-fledged rhinoceros in front of us, but it's a small one. It's also without its famous horn. It's only at the age of about 2 months when it comes out. As a compensation, Mother Nature made it in a way that their horns develop throughout all their lives. With their help, animals will go through high grass, they'll protect themselves, or on the contrary, they'll attack, and they'll assert their native territory. It's exactly for this reason why the horn is always smooth, as if it were polished. After all, animals always use it. Now I'll show you one of several predators in the world. Be prepared to tremble with fear. Another animal family rushes to be caught in the lens. These are pandas. As for predators, I didn't joke by the way, they really belong to this order, though pandas predominantly feed on bamboo. An adult panda eats up to 66 pounds of this wonderful plant. If anything, all bamboo flinders don't do any harm to it. The esophagus, as well as the stomach of our guest, are provided with a thick layer of resilient mucus tissue. These wondrous creatures are active throughout the whole year. They don't hibernate in the winter. In addition, they spend 12 hours eating. They're so lazy that another time they not only climb the trees, but they also sleep right on the branches. Possibly it's because other pandas don't have such a wonderful playground as the beauties from our next video do. These cubs tried to climb the swing set, then they started to follow their curator and slide down. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. At some point, there were too many of them downstairs. One of the pandas forgot about safety rules and it went up against the crowd. Still, pandas are insanely cute animals, right? What do you think? Who will win in the battle of a lion and a tiger? I think that it's the striped one who will come off victorious. Write your predictions in the comments. The main fight of the evening starts in a matter of seconds. So 3, 2, 1, start! Come on, I'm joking. It's not about a serious battle. It's the sparring of sweet cubs that was caught in the lens. In fact, those are a lion and a tiger that often fight against each other. However, they do this not to offend each other or to protect their territory. This way, cubs cooperate, and they help themselves, as well as their friends, gain combating skills that are so important in the wild. After all, how will you succeed in catching up with your enemies without them? How will you be able to knock them down? And how will you provide food for your future family? Exactly all the dreams about a promising future will be shattered. By the way, though both cats got life experience from the sparring, I think it was more beneficial to the tiger. At the same time, lions are, in the first turn, social animals that count on the strength of their pride where everyone performs a specific role without more. At the same time, tigers are quite the opposite. You'll rarely see a family of tigers that hunt together like lions do. In the majority of cases, these are lonely predators that rely on themselves only. It's very important for them to correctly disguise themselves in the forest, sneak up to their opponent without making any noise, and to devoid it of its life in a single blow. At that rate, training will never hurt. By the way, these striped creatures are so severe that they can carry their prey right in their teeth or on their back. Interestingly, the weight of an enemy can reach over 200 pounds, and it'll be child's play for the tiger. Scientists say that there's nothing strange in it. Tigers can look for prey that's 6 or even 7 times as heavy as they are themselves. So the main hero of our next video was eager to catch up with a small dog. However, the elephant may have tried, it developed its maximal speed, it cut short all the possible angles on the turns. However, success slipped away from its tiny legs. Except that you shouldn't smile, and even more, don't laugh at the little one. By the way, I felt disillusioned by the fact that it didn't manage to catch up with its friend. At some point, the elephant blew off, it jerked with its trunk, and it came back to its parents so that they'd calm it down. No big deal. On the other hand, a dog, when compared to an elephant, looks like a fly. The animal won't even pay attention to it. It's important to be optimistic about everything, right? Along with that, parents will find the correct words to comfort their cub. That's why a couple of hours later, it'll be in a good mood again. Maybe it'll be able to try its luck again, and finally, it'll win the race. Speaking of communication with elephants, did you know that it's the tactual contact that will play a special role in their communication? For example, these specimens greet each other, they stroke and embrace their trunks. The last gesture is also popular in the situations of light competition with each other. The elderly animals punish youngsters with the blows of their trunks and feet. They can also push their cubs. These specimens of all sexes and ages touch the mouths, temporal glands, and genitalia of each other when they meet or when they're in a state of fuss. This helps them perceive the signals based on chemical extractions. The tactual contact is especially important in the communication of a female elephant and her cub. While moving, the mother always touches her small one with her trunk, feet, or tail, depending on whether the cub is in front of her, next to her, or behind her. If she sees that her cub clings to her with its forelegs, then the mother understands that it has to have some rest. If the cub starts touching her legs or bag, it'll signal that it's hungry. Along with the tactual contact, it's the eye-to-eye communication that plays the biggest role in their lives that are the same as huge. Elephants are used to looking up or spreading their ears when it's important for them to seem bigger in order to make believe that they're the strongest elephants in the region. Speaking of that, if necessary, they can also shake their heads, flap their ears, as well as throw earth or vegetation. Doesn't it resemble anything to you? What does it seem to you? Is it real for a person to make friends with an elephant? I've also thought that they can get acquainted. However, it's not very likely that they'll have something more than communication. However, the next video proved me wrong. According to the comments of the author, this man always rides the same road on the way to work and back. One day, he noticed an elephant cub on the roadside. The small one most likely lost his mother. The man didn't get lost. He took it with him, brought it to the animal welfare center, and almost had it on its legs. What do you think? Since then, the elephant always greeted the man. It regularly met him on the same road and ran after him for a long time to make him company. It's a very touching and heartwarming story, right? It's nice that everything is in order with the elephant cub and it's happy even without its mother. So now I suggest that we should invent names for these two beauties that my subscriber shared with us. The man sent this photo, and he asked to help with nicknames for his new pets that he found on the street the other day. Yes, you imagine that someone was so unscrupulous and he abandoned these cutest creatures. In any case, it's nice that now they're in safe hands. The only thing that remains is to provide them with names. These are girls, if anything. The majority of turtles are moving too slow because they have a heavy shell. It's so heavy that it can withstand a weight that's 200 times more than that of the turtle itself. The speed also depends on the temperature of the environment. Or you may blow off the rules, sit on a skateboard, and get that long expected acceleration that the turtle didn't even dream of earlier. The heroine of our video, as you may have noticed, decided to take everything under control, and she succeeded in doing so. I'm sure that it relished such a quick ride. Here's another one who experienced a mass of positive emotions. It's the red panda. It saw snow for the first time and it couldn't hold back emotions. It ran around the enclosure, it climbed on trees, it jumped off, and it just lay on the ground. I can say that the red panda will need more food. Something hits to me that in the nearest time, it'll spend a huge amount of energy. A family of wild bears at home. Undoubtedly, they're also very nice and beautiful. However, I didn't feel calm from such a visit. Interestingly, even through the screen, I'm afraid of imagining what thoughts the residences of the home came up with when they caught that in the lens. What's even more frightening, if bears feel comfortable in their house, the animals can visit them on a regular basis. From the very moment, the lives of people will turn into a real horror story. Lions are predators that, as it turns out, can live alone. Such cats are usually called stray ones. As a rule, these are males that were outcast from the pride when they were born. The majority of young males go through this. Some of them live alone up to the end of their lives. To say that they lose a lot doesn't do it justice. After all, lions that live in groups that are called prides exist more friendly and more fun. Our next video is exactly about it. The female gave birth to offspring. She looked after her new cub far from her native pride within 16 weeks so that no one would eat it, injure, or offend it. When a small lion became robust and strong, the mother brought it together with the family, including its father. It was an especially exciting moment. However, everything worked out well, and the young predator perfectly blended into the team. Now it'll hone its skills and learn from the elderly all the subtleness of wildlife. No one knows what it will have to go through tomorrow. Animals, as you understand, are not the exception. These penguins couldn't even guess that one day people will get them acquainted with soap bubbles. In their turn, people don't suspect that such a simple toy would pretty well stamp into the minds of these non-flying birds. It's a pity that you couldn't leave them a whole package of these bubbles so that some would make them and others made them burst, and vice versa. Now you'll meet really giant pets born once in 100 years. Mini pig. Two Canadians led ordinary, simple lives. They loved pets, so they took care of several beauties at once. Two cats, a tortoise, and a fish were under their care. One of their friends suggested that they take in another animal, a miniature pig, which would be about as tiny as all their other pets. The guys agreed without thinking twice, but they had no idea that this miniature pig would grow to be the size of a full-fledged guard dog. At the time of taking this footage, the pig weighed about 660 pounds. A large number of people watched its life and wondered how this was even possible. After all, its owners did absolutely nothing to make it grow so large. The mini pig got a lot of fans because one of the guys created an account in a social network for it. There were also a lot of people who wanted to buy this animal, but for the family members, the pig had already become their relative, so there could be no question of any amount of money. It was personal. What do you think could have affected such a crazy growth of the animal? After all, even the vets who examined it didn't predict such records. I don't know about you, but I personally have a fear of large dogs. Big, toothy, aggressive-looking ones. If you want to know, pit bulls are at the top of the list. And I'm talking about the regular breed. Now imagine my face if I encountered this big creature. Well, ordinary adult males of this breed weigh up to 44 to 66 pounds. This animal is fattened up to 176 pounds. You'd think this is some kind of mutant, but no. We see the most ordinary dog who, by the way, continues to grow. The dog was expectedly named Hulk because just the sight of him makes the blood run cold in everyone's veins. But despite this, the owner of the pit bull trusts him with his little son. The dog loves to play with children and even rides them on his back. All because of the fact that Hulk was trained from puppyhood and grew up to be a full-fledged guard dog. According to the owner, he's so loyal that he'll protect the family at the cost of his own life. They thank him for it in full. Every day they give him 4.5 pounds of ground beef. In general, he eats better than many people. However, in this case, the size is no longer a benefit, and the owners are rather worried about the dog. According to the vets, because of such large size, the dog may at some point become difficult to breathe or even perform basic exercises. And since pit bulls can't live without movement, this can end very badly. Abnormal crocodile. The thing that animals can live longer in captivity than if they were not tamed is a fact long known to scientists, but people are still amazed by some individuals. One of them is the crocodile named Cassius. The age of the reptile is more than 110 years, his length is 18 feet, and he weighs about a ton. In 2011, Cassius the crocodile was recognized by the Guinness Book of Records as the world's largest crocodile in captivity. Besides, today he's considered one of the oldest crocodiles in the world. This giant was caught back in 1984. Lately, he's been living in an Australian park. What else makes Cassius so extraordinary is that he continues to grow despite his age. That's just phenomenal. Lizzie. That's the name of this beautiful Great Dane you're seeing right now. The black and white beauty was special from the moment she was born. According to her owner, when Lizzie first came into the world, she had a strange, powerful energy. After her first vet check, the doctor said Lizzie would be a big girl, but they must have understated it a bit, or used the wrong word. After all, Lizzie has grown up to be a giant dog. She's considered one of the tallest female dogs in the world right now. Her owner says she was abnormally tall already at the age of 2. The giant dog is so big that she has to eat food from a bowl that stands on a special chair. The good news is that Lizzie is not very active. You know how it usually happens. Dogs run all over the apartment and accidentally can break or push something. And with Lizzie's size, anything can be knocked over and broken. Samson. A man named Jonathan led an ordinary life. But one day, something happened. His older brother asked him to babysit a little cat that had just recently been born from a cat he already had. Of course, Jonathan agreed, but he had no idea that at that moment something mysterious would forever link the cat to his life. The white and brown handsome male, named Samson, is about 1.5 times larger than the average Maine Coon. His veterinarian honestly admits he's never seen a cat this big. He's definitely the biggest cat in New York City. Yes, as you understand, the kitty stayed at Jonathan's place, and after a year he realized that it was not a simple 4-legged one, but one of the largest cats in the world. The owner of the pet quickly adapted to the situation and even created separate accounts and social networks for Samson. Many people want to watch the life of the cat, who's more than 3 feet long, weighing about 33 pounds. At the same time, the cat is clearly not going to stop at the achieved records. In an effort to gain a few extra pounds, he eats 6 cans of canned cat food every day and eats some dry food as a snack. Are you sure it's a rabbit? That's the question I asked myself as soon as I saw this video on the internet. It shows a man holding a giant rabbit that is clearly not a dog, pig, or goat. It's actually a rabbit. A rabbit of the Flemish giant rabbit breed, considered one of the largest in the world fauna. Flemish giant rabbits are distinguished by their large size and live weight. Adult rabbits weigh 15 pounds, some individuals weigh 22 to 26 pounds, and the record-breaking weight is 29 pounds. Their body length can reach 27.5 inches. Also, these rabbits are characterized by a deep and wide back. However, such size does not appear out of anywhere. Even if you have a rabbit of this breed, you should know that it needs special attention and care to keep it warm and cozy. In addition, large size requires more space, so most likely the classic rabbit houses won't do. You have to customize them. People have had problems with these rabbits for a long time. After all, it's believed that they appeared 3 to 4 centuries ago thanks to the crossbreeding between local rabbits and Patagonian rabbits. Both breeds have been extinct for a long time, so we'll not be able to check the truthfulness of the legends, but we can check the advantages of these giants. From each of these fluffy animals, one can get a large and luxurious skin, as well as 12 pounds of easily digestible meat. Turns out kangaroos can be this big. Hit the like button if you thought this animal was fake too. Seriously, I thought it was just some monument erected in honor of Australia's main animal, but this isn't the case. The creature moved, and for a moment, I felt uncomfortable. Not about my safety, of course, but about the safety of the girl behind the camera. Judging by the fact that there was no comment from her, the kangaroo didn't attack her, it just ran past about its business. Speaking of kangaroos, we all know that these creatures are carried in their mother's pouch. But did you know that when they're born, they're only a couple of centimeters long? They reach more or less noticeable size only after the first few months, after which they already become similar to their parents. Bully beaver. To be honest, I'm a little shocked by the following situation. A guy was walking his dog near some lake when suddenly, out of nowhere, a beaver appeared, jumped on the dog, and then disappeared into the water. And it'd be alright if the beaver was of classic size, but this one was obviously some kind of mutant or overgrown. Probably, as it was growing up, something changed in its head which made it more aggressive and persistent. In all likelihood, as the experts from the comments explained, the beaver was defending its territory, on which the guy and his dog walked without asking. In this case, I can understand the beaver. If I were the human, after this attack, I'd remain vigilant for at least another 20 minutes because that's how long beavers can stay underwater and watch the surroundings. Who knows, maybe the animal's mission on this attack wasn't over yet, and it was planning to go to a second round. By the way, beavers are helped by their very large lungs and liver to stay underwater for so long. In this individual, they're probably even larger than usual. Perhaps this giant can swim underwater for up to half an hour. That's about it. Write in the comments which moment seemed the nicest to you. For more useful information, watch other videos.